Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be doing some of the EX stages for the new Type 0 stuff. We're going to start with Ingus's crowns. Now these are locked to Blessing of the Crystal only. No KOs, 5 turns or less, no continues. The boss is a demon. You cannot use a friend, and like I said, Blessing of Crystal only. So we're going to do just a 4-man clear to show you the basics. You can definitely add whatever you want to that last party slot. The boss does single target paralyze, AoE, and single target physical damage. You could mirage it. We're going to just cover it with Warrior of Light or Fledgling Warrior. AoE, fire, ice, and lightning. Magic damage, no AoE and perils, so 100% resist is enough. And then single target, 300% fire and peril, and single target light damage with no imperil. So your provoker wants 100 light resist as well. The boss is plus 50 to all resistances, so you can use any element you want, but you want good imperils if you can. Now, I will say you can definitely do a super easy clear with things like, you know, Warriors per, what is this, Dark Lineage, Return Fina, Knights of Grandshell, stuff like that. You could do stuff like, you know, Elena with her intrinsic, Bart's with like a full Final Fantasy V party, or you can use the new Type 0 stuff. But we're going to use a little bit of a weaker team to just show you some of the easier ways to do it. Some of the more accessible ways to do it. By using just an EX1 Ingus, a Neovision's Awakened Onion Knight, and then Louise, who is 100 years old. So let's get in here and give it a go. And again, that last party slot, we could add anything we want. Lena for the field, we could add, you know, Fina for the killer, stuff like that. So to start off, Fledgling Warrior, we'll go ahead and triple. We're going to use physical coverage just to not worry about the physical stuff. We're going to break the attack and magic with Coruscant Saber. And then we're going to use Invincible Shield for a Thunder Resist buff. Now on this turn, Louise, we're going to be doing mostly setup on the first 2 turns. Louise on this turn will just do the Gun in Peril. Sage on this turn, honestly speaking, there's not much for Sage to do, so he'll just guard. Ingus in the shift form will do, because mine's only EX1, we're going to do Fill LB Gauge, Flame Burst for the Imperil field, and then full breakdown is fine. Yeah, we have to take an extra turn with this party because Ingus is only EX1 and I don't have the LB available on the first turn. If we did, we could speed this up a lot. So here's some fire damage in the first turn. We're not immune yet, we didn't do resistance buffs. So this turn, Fledgling Warrior will dual cast from an item, and then from an Esper, we'll do fire and ice resist buff. That gives us all the elemental resistances. Sage will do his shifted LB. Ingus will go to the base form, and we did crown the base form with the early stage crowns. And we're going to use his base form LB for the modifier buff. And Louise will go to the base form, and we'll do 90 break. We'll do an amplify field. We'll do a stat buff, and then we'll do I guess heavy firepower to amplify herself. As you see, this party doesn't really have good amplifies. We have no killer buff whatsoever, but we should still, hopefully, do it in 5 turns or less. Alright, so a little bit of damage here. Not the biggest deal. Okay, now it's time to start dealing some real damage. We'll do the LB of Warrior of Light just to put up some mitigations. Louise will go to the shift form, and we will start chaining her with quad Ionic, which is Chaos Wave Awakened. Sage will quad Black, and we'll do Chaos Wave Awakened Farega. These have been modifier buffed, by the way. And then we'll do quad Black with Ingus and Farega. And we'll chain all this together. Now, most of the damage is going to be coming from Ingus. He has been modifier buffed, etc. And as you can see, with the Imperil fields, the decent break from Louise, etc., looks like we're going to get a turn 4 clear, but a turn 5 clear would be totally fine. You know, we're handling all this. A little bit of damage. We're not fully immune to all the AoE stuff, but with mitigations and resist buffs from Warrior of Light, it's fine. So Warrior of Light on this turn will triple. We'll go ahead, and what's the duration of his cover? 4 turns. We don't need that again. So we'll just do a heal just in case. He can't quad cast his heals apparently, so whoops. I guess we will cover. We'll cover, we'll Coruscant Slash, and we'll Saints Ward for the lightning resist again. and we'll just reload the rest of the party and go again. And if we don't kill this turn, you know, we'll chain again next turn. Nothing really changes turn to turn. And there it is. There is our clear. So, you know, no 5 turns or less, no continues, no KOs. The gear we use, Fledgling Warrior, is just full evasion, passive provoke, decent fire resist, because remember, the single target 300 fire imperil, so as high as you can get on fire resist. Ice and lightning. Actually, I should have gone higher in fire. I should have gone up to 320 in fire. But honestly speaking, he would have been fine either way. He's pretty bulky. We didn't give him a vision card or anything, so yeah, just, you know, bulk him up. And then dual cast on an Esper Carbuncle for some resistance buffs to fire and ice. Red Mage Ingus is using, in the shift form, just some resistances for the first turn and some auto buffing. There we go. And then base form, we are using a gun build because we're using Louise for the gun in peril. So double hand gun build, we're getting that from Gunner Vacation, his own TMR. Double hand damage versus demons. I think he caps Demon Killer pretty easily. Demon. Yep, Magical Demon Killer is maxed out, and there we go. And his crowned LB is a 650 modifier buff for Rhaegar. So, you know, pretty big modifier buff. Louise in the base form, kind of irrelevant. We started there for Obsidian Bracer. Shift form, double hand build. Her damage is probably going to be super low, but there it is, and she is maxed on Demon Killer. And then Sage, again, gun build, double hand build, and there we go. And he is maxed on Demon Killer, and I think he is, yep, there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and just, out of curiosity, see the damage breakdown, and then I will set up a team for the other fight. So see you in a second. And again, that was turn 4. Going to turn 5 would have been totally fine. We could have gone an extra turn, just changed it up again. No big deal. That's the reason we waited till turn 2 to do all the big breaks. That way they'd still be there on turn 5, just in case we needed it. And yeah, as you can see, Onion Knight and Louise did basically nothing. I mean, Onion Knight did boost the modifiers of Ingus as well, so there it is. But the real damage is from Ingus. Only EX1, so it's all you really need, as you can see. And again, we could also do something like a Knights of Grandchelt cap clear. You could use Kurasame and cap that. If you got Return Fianna, we had no killer buff whatsoever. We had basically no amplifies for the party. So, yeah, there it is. Hope it was helpful. Let's go to the next fight. See you in a sec. Alright guys, next up is going to be the Towering Foe. This is another one of those fights where you can take kind of anything you want, including a friend. So no items, no continues, no KOs. It's a stone enemy, it uses mostly physical stuff. And again, you can take a friend if you want to, so bring your best friend to help carry you. We don't really need to, so we're going to, once again, for these fights, I'm just going to use Dwayne to carry the fight with an Omni Cover and a Breaker. So any breaker you want is totally fine here. So what we're going to do, Lara Croft will just do her 90 break. You can use things like Hawkeye, Venera, Wilk, or an 89 breaker. Literally any breaker you want is fine. Esther is going to Energizing Bunny, and this conveniently also includes a Stone Killer buff. Then we're going to just Omni Cover. And Dwayne will do his LB for the Sword in Peril. Now, if you have someone else to do a Sword in Peril, like Flaring Rain, you can skip that step. We're also not imbued yet, so as you saw, the damage was real bad right there. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter because Dwayne is just amazing. Honestly speaking, we can just guard Esther and Lara. They're done for the fight. Dwayne can now imbue himself, 150 amp, and then just do a Bolting Strike. And next turn, after we've done Dwayne's setup, we can go ahead and finish this fight out. So the boss does some physical stuff, you know, fixed attack, whatever. We have an Omni Cover tank, don't really care that much. And then our Dwayne can go ahead and do his atonement, and that should be the end of the Golem. Boom, large amounts of damage thanks to Dwayne. And the gear. Esther is just my very generic Omni Cover build, passive provoke, evasion, and immunity, and whatever. Lara Croft, totally naked, just a breaker and nothing else. And then Dwayne is, you know, geared well, but you're supposed to use a friend unit to help you carry. Thankfully, he is naturally maxed on Stone Killer. So there it is, if he's on Bahamut. So Stone Killer, very, very easy for Dwayne, so he's the perfect friend for this. You can also grab things like, you know, Ibarra, 2B, Chizuru, just whatever you want. You could turn 1 OTK it with a, you know, typical turn 1 OTK team. You know, that fight was supposed to be a Final Fantasy Type 0 mission, but Global does global things, and they remove those missions, so you can just face roll it with literally anything you want, which makes it super easy. Okay, see you in a moment for the next one.